Out of the notice of this meeting was provided to the Cranford Chronicle, advertised on January 16, 2015. Notification was sent to the Star Ledger and prominently posted on the Municipal Public Bulletin Board and filed in the office of the Municipal Clerk, informing the public the time and place according to the provisions of the Open Public Meeting Law, Chapter 231, PL 1975. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. First, we'll start with a presentation from Property Pilot Municipal Management Software.
So I want to thank everyone's time. I apologize everyone can't see this. But this is a little extra exciting for me being here tonight for you guys, considering my wife and I became a resident, bought a house here 2 years ago and started a family here. So if anyone's pushing for you guys to get this besides Tina, it's myself, being a resident. So what we do, I'm going to go through this as quick as possible. I'm sure you guys got a lot to discuss tonight. We kind of tie in a couple different things. One is a geographic information system to be viewed internally as well as externally. What that is a map to be able to show different layers of information that we want to provide to the public. So essentially it falls under the format of more of an open data format, providing information to the public, cut down on open requests, cut down on call volume. And I'll show you an example of some different layers that customers are using us for. The other is the municipal management side of things, which is essentially tying all your departments together and digitizing all the forms. Putting all the forms in a true electronic fashion, no more printable PDFs with everything being handwritten and transcribed. Because it's now become in a true electronic fashion, every field that is entered now becomes searchable within the system. You can run reports on your data as detailed as you would like. And as well as keeping transparency across different departments. So all you have to do is search via an address and you'll be able to see there's 2 permits, there's been 3 complaints, there's a dog license, essentially tying everything together. The one I'll show you very quickly, the map portion. Morristown is a customer of ours. If we're talking Union County, we have 3 other customers. We're hoping you guys are the 4th. We have Union Township, Westfield, and Roselle. So if we click on a button right on their homepage, it loads up the GIS map. So what we're able to do is a couple different things from here. First thing is I'll show you are the layers. One example would be voting boards. They could come and see, depending upon where they live, click on it, and all the detailed information would show pertaining to that particular voting board. Sanitation schedule, you come on, add that layer, click, and you can see abbreviated information, and then be able to drill down to more detailed information as well. The other thing that their engineering department provided us was a file of all of the parking regulations. We could come on and see if Morristown has a large downtown eating and shopping district. We could come on and see what we're going to be eating or shopping around here. We could come on and click and see what the parking regulations are. That's just an example. Literally, it's any data set that you would like to provide outward to the public. To provide, and essentially within one click, they're able to access all this information, not sifting through the website 5, 10, 15 different clicks. The other aspect that gets tied into this would be the assessment data. So if we drill down to the parcel level, we start to see parcel boundaries appear. If we hover over any particular parcel, all the assessment data automatically changes on the right-hand side. So now if we click on a particular parcel, we have loaded the associated tax map with every single parcel. For Garwood and every town in New Jersey, this is all automatically already preloaded into the system. You guys don't have to provide us with any information. The other thing pertaining to this would be the e-administration of the forms. So we can achieve this by one of 2 ways. We're going to take the forms, put them in the system digitally. How do you want the public to access them? Through the map, they could come on, type their address in, and it'll appear. Or through the conventional fashion of how you currently have it on the website, by a couple different hyperlinks. Either way, it's up to you. It doesn't really matter. But just to give you an example of what that would look like if we're doing it through the map portion, and we drill down, I apologize if I'm in anyone's way, and it's 4th Avenue, and we would click down to that parcel. We could register for a dog license, it'll fill out our address, and we can submit it electronically. Add any sort of attachments, rabies vaccine, whatever needs to be added. We're also going to add the fee schedule into the background. As changes are made up top, is the animal spayed or neutered, it's automatically going to change the cost. We're time-stamping it, or submitting it late, it's going to automatically get the late fee. Based upon time that it's submitted, we're automatically going to let the constituent know when the renewal is. We can copy you guys in on it as well. But there's no need to keep track of when anything needs to be renewed anymore. All these fields now, as I explained earlier, become searchable within the system. And because it's an electronic form, nothing comes through incomplete. We're going to highlight in red everything that needs to be filled out for the form to be submitted in its completion. So where do all these forms go? This is essentially the public side. All these forms would come internally into the system. Where do they go? They would come to an individual. One of the things that we do is we automatically route every single form with a customized workflow. Where do the dog licenses go? What's the lifespan of this? Well, it goes from person A to B to C to D. When person A is done with it and they hit save, it automatically gets routed to the next individual. You don't need to be concerned with where any of the forms go. The system will do it in the background. And will proactively let anyone know what's going on. As it moves from A to B, you want to proactively let the constituent know what the status update is, it'll automatically do that via text or email. Or if it's going from person A to person B, you need to CC someone in within the municipality, you can do that as well. And that's for every single individual form, we're going to customize that workflow. The idea is not to change the way you do things and you have to shoehorn into our system. The idea is that, how do you do it now? Well, we take this form, it goes here, here. Well, great. Let's map that out and put it electronically into the system. But everything would come into the mail center, which is specific to an individual. You know, you're not going to see, if this is code enforcement now, you're not going to see everything pertaining to code enforcement. You're just going to see everything that came into you. You need to be able to see, okay, this person complains that they never showed. It came in from the web. How did it come in? Someone input it internally in here. This came in from the web. Was it a call? And what you have the ability to do is assign it to someone. There's no need to call anymore, shoot an email. You're going to assign it to Sam as soon as you hit save. Sam's going to get a text or email to log in, and that he has a new complaint that he has to deal with. And taking that a step further, what happens if he doesn't do anything with it? You can set a timeline in place to say, well, if nothing's done with this in 3 days, let me know so I can follow up. Or as things are done, let me know. If it's an open request, day 6, nothing's done with it, we'll let you know you have 24 hours left to fulfill this. And you can see a ton of different things in here. The location, were there any actions previously taken on it? Was there a notice of violation? Summons, who the defendant is, who the complaint is, and any sort of attachments that they've put in. Now this would be anything this would be dog license, any applications, permits, whatever it may be. You'd be seeing here the live form to make any sort of adjustments on. The data viewer houses all the data pertaining to any particular subject. So if we stick with code enforcement, you could also manage municipal vehicles from here, all of the licenses, whatever it may be. You could sort, be able to see, okay, 1 Second Street has that 1 complaint violation, 1 Adams Street has that 4, 2 are abated. Here's the abbreviated information. You could click into the form for all the detailed information to see the form itself. The other thing is to be able to see, again, what's going on with the address in total. So we're able to see here, there's 2 complaints of violations, a certificate of habitability, a dog license, everything that gets anchored to that address across all the departments. So again, provide transparency within the municipality. Any questions so far? I'm trying to kind of rip through this as quickly as I can, but make sure I hit some key points. We'll also add legacy data onto here. Anything that you want us to previously tie to a property, we will do that as well. We just won't do the scanning of it, but we will load it into the system for you. If anything needs to be filled out internally, obviously the idea is that people are going to fill stuff out online. I'm sure paper forms are still going to come in. How do we access and fill those forms out internally? We could type in an address. Go to my house if you like. And we could go to property forms. And we could now fill out any form that came in manually. Be able to click on it, hit new, fill the information out, and again, once we say, what's that customized workflow, who's this going to next? You don't have to worry about emails anymore with regards to that. We can automatically run an AVM on the property, have the assessed price compared to the sale price and derive an equalization ratio. We could hover over any comparables. We could change the structure of how we want it, the date range. We could also show an average price per square foot. We can view the house, if we like, from the street. Code enforcement, if they want to get an idea of what it looks like. Any sort of custom layers that you could add internally into the system. The other thing that we provide to the municipalities is all the foreclosures that are going on within the town. We get a direct feed from Trend that gets updated every 2 weeks. You can click on a particular parcel, foreclosure information goes live, and we can see all the associated information pertaining to that. The other thing, I'll show you a couple more things briefly. The geographic map search. We want to see within 200 feet. Again, we could type the address in directly, or since we're drilled down on the map, we could hit within, get all the parcels within 200 feet, start our search. Now we have all the parcels instantly, all 26 properties. What do we want to do with this information? Export it to Excel, print mailing labels directly, we can do a mail merge. We'll load all your form letters into the system. And within 30 seconds, we're able to have every letter filled out with the proper information pertaining to the subject to be able to be sent out. We could obtain a geographic search 2 other different ways. One would be by simply drawing a radius. The other would be via a polygon. 4th Avenue is going to have its, or Cedar Street is going to have its streets redone. Go around it, we want to let everyone know. Go back to search, start our search, and we have all those houses that fall within that. And we want to let know 8th Street is going to be redone. The other thing is how we manage all our data. One thing that you will have the ability to do is we're going to provide 75 search fields within the system. Lot size, assessment type, last sale date, foreclosure information, taxes. We're providing a ton of searchable fields within this. The other thing that this is going to be populated with is all your custom data. All the licenses, all the permits, all those fields that were being filled out in the electronic form now become searchable. You could drill down to the ridiculous level of, which you never would, but to give an example of, I want to see all the new dog licenses that are female and pit bulls. You can just keep adding search fields to drill down and essentially run reports in database format on all of your data. Now, what if you want to see how your data resides on the map? You would pull that information here, show a geographic filtering tool, and we have one example of how that works. We did one for Westfield pertaining to assessments. Simple report we ran pertaining to different assessment lots, under 50, 50 to 150, over 150 to 3. And now the report that we ran in here is visual here. And when we hover over it, we can see what was that report that we ran, to be able to view our data. Charting and statistics. All the reports that you're running, you can now view over a period of time. 6 months over 6 months, year over year. And the accounting feature. I mean, this program does a ton. Again, I'm almost finished with it. I'm trying to highlight the main key points. You can have unlimited users within the system. I know it's, we have a lot of municipalities that are your size. The shared services, they're people who are part-time. This is accessible anywhere. You give access to anyone in the system that you would like to have access to it and determine their level of what they can see, what they could read and write, what they could view. We're going to also load all the ordinances into the system. This will now be available via pick list, drop-down pick list, rather than having to put anything on the clipboard, come back to the office. We're going to hope to eliminate that. The customized workflow, this is probably, in my opinion, the most powerful part of the system. Again, every single form, what's the lifespan of it, where does it need to go, and who do we need to notify along the way. The public site, what are we putting on the website to be filled out, how much information are we showing, what layers on the map are we showing, what else? E-commerce audit, if you decided you wanted to take payments online, this is just a place to provide reconciliation. Data audit, if any mistake was made in the system, you can roll back in time to before that mistake was made. I think that was the fastest I've ever done it. So, please have questions. I tried to highlight the main points. I mean, it has a ton of features, it's very robust, but I tried to speed it up in an effort of time.
Anybody on council have any questions at this point?
It's cloud-based, it doesn't take up any space on your servers.
Mr. Hairston?
Is this all based on I don't want to say I'm used to these, okay, but I've seen a number of presentations.
Sure.
And the presentations are great.
Sure.
And the system is great. I love the system. I want us to get something.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got everything loaded already, so of course it works beautifully.
Sure.
Is this based on the Mod 4 system of the county as the base of the parcel for the parcels?
This is, and we're actually in the midst of becoming Mod 4 approved right now.
Okay.
So we're pulling a lot of the assessment data from various different state, local agencies to ensure it's accurate, ensure it's constantly being renewed in the system. And this is all live feeds that we currently have. This isn't anything we've loaded in as static. This is our live demo account where information is constantly being filtered into.
In terms of the data entry,
Sure.
I mean, there's going to be a tremendous amount of data that has to be entered.
From who's?
From, let's just pick one that might be the oddball.
Sure.
The building division's over in Cranford.
Sure.
All right, to get that data, how is that actually entered?
You're talking prior legacy data pertaining to a particular address?
That is correct.
We would load it into the system.
But it's probably on paper, it's probably it's probably in Word, it's not.
As long as it's in some sort of digital format, if it's a PDF or Word or Excel, we will load it in. The only thing we don't do is scan them.
Even if it's a letter, if it's a Word letter,
If it's a Word, oh, yeah, of course.
you can bring that up and link it to that property?
Yes, that's part of what we do, correct. As long, like I said, the only thing we don't do is scan. So we don't sit and some customer give us 10,000 pieces of paper, we scan them in. If you have them electronically in some sort of format, we will enter them to whatever address you need us to.
These systems are great. I mean, they are terrific. And in fact, your basis is the GIS, because a lot of the programs out there aren't, based on GIS. It's extra.
Right.
So, I mean, is your basic package without GIS, and then GIS is extra?
It actually is the other way around. So we can provide GIS as a standalone, if you'd like, or it's the full enterprise with the digitization of forms and the customized workflow. That's where we do most of the work, is taking your forms, putting them electronically, and custom routing them. It's not the GIS, it's not the custom layers, it's not the data. That's minimal work on our end. So it's more of the enterprise system when we're doing loading departments on as well.
James, if I had like an Excel spreadsheet that had columns, had address by address, the house number, then the street, and then some other data, but it was one sheet that contains a lot of different addresses, is there a way, if I provided you that sheet electronically, that you could pull that data for each one and put it to each address it belongs to?
Sure.
As long as you're willing to pay for it, sure.
Yeah, and just so
I've learned
council,
they can do anything, as long as you have the money
Well,
to pay for it.
just so council knows, you gave me money to hire 2 college kids over the summer, which I did, and they scanned a lot of old records, and sorted them by address, so we have a lot of stuff we could upload immediately if we want.
Keep in mind, we try and be as transparent as possible and as easy as possible with regards to price. I know you just brought that point up. We go by parcel size. Smallest towns pay the most, largest towns pay the least, and we go by amount of departments you want to onboard. It doesn't matter how many users.
Can you say that again?
We go by parcel count, and then we go by number of departments. Our base subscription comes with 3 departments. And so it's a flat fee every year. There's no initial onboarding, high-end fee high fee up front to load everything in, customize it. Just a flat fee every year.
Includes training, because obviously there's going to be a lot of training.
Includes 5 hours of training per department after we onboard all the forms.
That's all?
5 hours per department on site. Listen, if we need to do more, we'll do more. We've never had a case where we need more than and 5 per department. So we'll allocate, it's not just 5 for the whole county, for the whole town. It's 5 for the building department, 5 for the clerk's office, 5 for, everyone gets their own individual time.
And you said unlimited users, but obviously each user costs you more.
No, you could give a username and login to as many people as you'd like.
So there isn't a per user,
No.
so we could, I'm making this up, we could have 20 in the police division, 5 over in the clerk, 4 at fire, 4 down at public works, and it doesn't matter?
No. We want as many people to have access to it and utilize the system as possible. As well as, police department may not be a department that comes on board with us. Out of all the towns and counties that we have as customers, that's usually the department that we have onboarded the least.
Right.
But they all have username and logins. They could all go to a particular address, see that they have a dog license, there's a dog waiting for them behind that door, they've had 6 complaints and violations against them, to provide the transparency for them as well, but they're not a department that we onboarded.
Right, so they want, and this is a positive, I understand, is they want all the information, but they're not gonna give you their information.
Right, so if they wanted to come on board, what we would do is we would load their permits and forms onto the system and customize that workflow. If they, if they don't want to give us that information, that's fine, but they'll absolutely have access to the system.
I have a few questions.
Okay.
Well, first of all, welcome to town.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming here tonight to explain this to us.
Sure.
So a couple questions. One was just to clarify that I'm understanding this right.
Sure.
Basically, your system right now has information on Garwood,
Yeah,
and then we would be adding additional information as long as it's in a digital form and you're not scanning.
correct.
Okay.
Correct, so all the
I got
assessment
that.
data, the tax records, the foreclosure
Right.
data, we're already in the system.
Okay.
We're already getting feeds on it.
Right, okay, that's good. And then you mentioned 3 departments
Correct.
having access, or not access, but uploading to that. When you say department, it would be clerk's office, not just dog licensing being one department, right?
Right.
Okay, I just want to make sure,
Right.
because then we could have.
So
quite a few.
the clerk's office could have 40 forms.
Mhm.
That's one department.
Right, and then with that said, since I'm actually a little surprised here that every municipality doesn't put the police department on.
Yeah, we
with
have a
those
few,
3.
but most
Most don't?
Yeah.
So what are the 3 they go with? Definitely the clerk's office,
It's usually always the clerks, usually always
public works?
DPW, yeah, building and code enforcement. Code enforcement is very popular. Morristown just abuses us for the code enforcement module. They love it. They have tablets with portable printers and use the system from the field all the time.
Okay. And then my final question is, you mentioned that they can make payments online,
Sure.
so for a dog license or whatever it may
Right.
be. Does that include paying taxes online or no?
So right now we don't do tax collection.
No.
It's the only thing we
Okay.
don't do.
We had it where Edmonds, I just didn't say that.
Oh, really?
I need a lot of help.
Okay, okay, good to know. Thanks.
With this software, what I now, I have a dog software program that
Yes.
the residents have to come in for.
Right.
Would I be able to eliminate that?
Yes. So a lot of kind of systems that are going on in different departments, you'd be able to eliminate and come onto one.
Did I watch you shade an area of streets and then the clerk could do a mail merge with just that area?
Correct. You could do it 3 different ways within a certain amount of footage of the target property. And we do it from obviously every point on the property, a radius search, or you could actually physically draw a polygon and load all them up. And that, again, that's done within 30 seconds, and the letters are ready to go. And we're gonna load all your letters into the system with merge fields, so they automatically get filtered and filled out.
I do have a question. Being that we do have a shared service for Cranford right now.
Sure.
You said that the code enforcement was one of them.
Yeah.
So this can actually merge with Cranford in order, so that we would set that up as a, as another, as another department on here, so then.
Sure, absolutely you could. And you could give them username and logins, and they can perform whatever test they want, either from here, from the field. One popular thing that Morristown has on the system is report a problem or concern. And depending upon what concern is picked, it gets routed to the proper department. One's 2 feet high, it'll go automatically to that code enforcement officer. Whether that day he's working in Cranford or not, he's still gonna get a text or email to say, you have a new concern waiting for you in GovPilot to take care of. And he could head there that day, do it whenever he wants. Make any sort of adjustments from the field,
And it does work, you know, that's good.
Correct.
Okay, very good.
All right, thank you. I have,
Thank you.
I'll leave proposals I have on the folder packs on the table. I appreciate everyone's time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
It's gonna be a short back
Thank you,
home.
Mayor.
And Mayor, if you're so inclined to move that to a committee,
I
I
think
think that would be the,
my selection might be the finance committee, so I think have someone who would look at that in detail.
We'll provide the rest of the year at health costs.
I know,
Are you serious?
I'm serious. We'll give you the system render 2015 for free. We understand budgets mid-year, you have the system, we'll get you on top one for no cost.
and really, I hate my next comment, you know, there are others out there who, you know, do the same service.
No one does what we do.
I know that's true. And I know this is one. Has anyone looked at any others yet?
not yet, but now it's in finance, so.
Right, okay, so.
We've
Thank you
never,
very much.
no problem. Mark Pfeiffer is, for what it's worth, is deemed us as a proprietary product. Everything with us is built from the ground up. We've never had one customer take us to bid yet. You guys obviously, if that's how you guys want to proceed.
How long how long has GoPilot been out there?
3 years?
3 years.
Correct.
And how many towns in Jersey? I know you said 3 in each county, but how many total?
We have over, in New Jersey, we have over 20 towns down, we have 2 counties on board. And by the end of the year, we're actually expected to double that. We're growing very rapidly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys, appreciate it
Thank you.
again.
Thank you again. Ready to proceed? Mr. Goriello?
Yeah, I really don't have much to report tonight, Mayor. That's all I can say is at this point, the DOT project is still on schedule for later on in the month. So, that's where we are right now.
Any questions for Mr. Goriello?
Mayor, I just have one. Don, I mentioned this a little while ago about the Senate looking at, stream cleaning
Yes.
project.
Mhm.
And, I know we received another resolution in our council packet, the Township of Union just adopted one.
I think it would be a good idea, because I think
Yeah.
our stream would fall in that.
Okay, sure. So I would like to bring it to Streets and Roads to look at and then
Okay.
get something to the council. But thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Don, I have a question for you. At the last meeting, we spoke afterwards. Anything with what they did after the street, whether or not that was a sewer line?
No, it's a water service.
It's a water service?
Yes, and they still haven't come back and done the pavement restoration. Usually it takes a month or so before they do that, so I would expect when they do that, they'll take care of the sidewalk.
Okay. So it was a water service?
Yes, it was.
Anyone else? Thank you, Mr. Goriello. Mr. Renata?
Thank you, Mayor. Two things, I guess. One of them is, we did send a memo on this to the administrator, which I understand was forwarded to you, about the assessment on, curb assessment on the properties of Willow, New, and Myrtle. So you need to schedule that for a public hearing at one of our meetings. I don't know whether you'd have time to do the notices.
I calculated that, no. So I would advertise on 27, and you can hold a public hearing on 90.
Thank you.
So if that's what you want to do, then we'll schedule.
Anybody have a problem with that?
So I should set it up?
Yes, thank you. Yes.
I just have actually one question on that now. Why is this, I just had a question from one of the constituents. Why is this taking so long? I noticed the work was done quite a while ago.
I can't answer that. It's not infrequent that they take a while to happen. I don't know the answer to that, but I can tell you that it's not, I mean, I've had 10 to 12 years, so this is, a really long one, although it's kind of long. If I were for my property, I suppose that some people might feel like, oh gee, I sort of forgot about that. On the other hand, they haven't had to make any payments all this time, so.
And there's no retroactivity to it? Okay.
Okay, Mr. Councilman? Yeah. We continue on, Administrator Christina.
I'm not done yet, Mayor.
Sorry? Trying to move it along.
That's okay. I'll be very quick. I
Thank you.
did have, I think I mentioned to you the last time we met that we had filed the Affordable Housing Declaratory Judgment Action. I had a conference today with the assignment judge who was handling the case. She set out a schedule. We are going to have another conference on October 22nd. We have a 5-month deadline from when the declaratory judgment was filed to file a plan with the court and have it approved. So that needs to be done in the very beginning of December. I am afraid that I'm probably going to have to ask you to have a special meeting sometime, like the end of November or the beginning of December. You might want to consider doing it. The last planning board meeting in November, they meet on Wednesdays, is that correct?
I can look on the internet and see exactly when they meet. Bill, do you know the schedule?
I'm getting it wrong.
Raise.
You want it in November? Well, it's got to be the end of November or the beginning of December, the week before we have our regularly scheduled
December
meeting.
19th is their last meeting.
No, it has to be
November 12th is their last
November
meeting.
12th.
Yes.
It's their only
Well,
meeting.
they may have to have a special meeting too, then I don't think we'll be ready by November 12th. What the court suggested that a number of towns are doing is having a dual special meeting of the planning board with the mayor and council having their special meeting immediately afterwards. We don't have to schedule that now, but keep that in mind, and we probably will. And Bill, you're the planning board person, right? So you might want to mention that to the planning board that we are probably going to have to do that.
Will do.
Okay? That's it, thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Renard? Okay. Thank you. Administrator, Ms. Ariam, you have no report
No
tonight?
report, ma'am.
Thank you. Unfinished business? Hearing none. New business. I have two small things. New Jersey American Water Company will be installing new service lines for the entire length of 3rd Avenue starting Monday, August 17th, with a completion date of approximately September 30th. All final restoration work will be completed in November. There will be a 30-minute interruption of service while the contractor connects the new service line. Residents will be notified prior to interruption. Customers may experience a slight discoloration of their water, and if this happens, they should run the water until it runs clear. Also, New Jersey Department of Transportation, NJDOT, will be accepting applications for their fiscal year 2016 state aid program, and any applications must be submitted by October 15th. And I spoke to Donald and been notified. We're going to be doing that. Okay, we'll continue on. Comments or matters for discussion from the members of council. Councilman Martin's excused this evening. Councilman Matthew.
Two things, Mayor. First thing is the emergency preparedness plan. Where are we on that?
We're in final stages. The gentleman is now out of rehab, and he is working. All he has to do is sign off on papers and collate them. But also, too, you have to know that Union County has talked to the state on our behalf, and they're well aware of our situation, that we are late, but report will be submitted immediately in the near future.
Okay, so do we have like a time frame on that?
I haven't talked to Ken in about a week or so, but he said he was gonna start working on it this week, because he's out of rehab. I will contact you with that information.
Okay. And what about the building inspection with Cranford? Have we heard back from them?
No, yes, we unofficially did. It will be on their agenda in September.
Does that mean they accepted our
He
proposal?
was going to talk to his fellow commissioners.
Yeah, that's all I have, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Mr. 7.
No, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilwoman Tarantino, welcome back.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to let you know that the parking spots at Borough King have been painted and numbered, and the signs have been ordered. And once they come in and they get installed, we will be able to advertise those spots for community.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Councilwoman Tedesco?
No report, Mayor.
Thank you. Council President
Under,
Neerstadt?
don't worry.
Nothing, Mayor.
Thank you. We'll continue on. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to address the mayor and council, please step to the microphone, sign in, state your name and address. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes.
Good evening, everybody. Joe Goldie, 25 Second Avenue. Just gonna bring up a few things I brought up last fall that I have concerns about. Probably the most important one, our police department, they have been out with radar. Second Avenue has really become a speedway. It's getting worse instead of better. And since Holly Street that runs into us, because I'm right near Anchor and Winslow, since Holly was paved, people just come tearing down the road that much faster. So I don't know what we can do, but really something has to be addressed. A number of times I backed out of the driveway and almost get hit. And one day I'm just gonna say, the heck with it, let them hit me, instead of trying to get out of their way. Another issue, a house on Anchor, 115 Anchor, is on the corner of Anchor and Second. The garage faces our property, because we're triangular shaped because of Anchor coming in. The garage is ready to fall apart. I mean, I've seen all different rodents coming in and out of the holes in the place. About a month ago, the owner of the house, who does not live there, it's a multiple family, he put a new roof on the garage. But the rest of the garage looks terrible. And I mean, if that's what we're paying, I feel like I'm living in Newark, unfortunately. It's really bad. You know, I brought pictures last fall, passed them around, but we've gotten nowhere on it. And there's a third thing I wanted to bring up, I forgot.
Just correct, that's 115 Anchor?
115 Anchor, yeah.
Joe, I remember you brought that up before.
Yeah.
It's nothing new. Chief, that's property maintenance. Are you aware of it?
I think Lenny just follows on that.
Zoning.
Yeah,
I think
something
he was
else.
in conference or in correspondence with the building code enforcement, zoning enforcement officer.
And there's one other thing I wanted to bring up, slipped my mind, that,
Oh, you have another chance at the
We'll
regular
be here
meeting.
for a while.
okay.
Yeah,
Thanks
not
a
too
lot,
much
everybody.
longer, thank you.
Joe, do you have times on the speeding that you've noticed? We have been out there.
Yeah, oh, I know.
Anyone else at this time?
11 to 7 o'clock in the morning.
Just an easy question about signing in.
Kathleen Patterson, 416 Center. My parents also live on Center, 45 years in the town. Center Street also, to Joe, is it? To Joe's point, Speedway. Friday night's the worst. We could sit on my parents' front porch and just watch the heads down like this with the cell phones and speeding as well. I live across the street, I rent. I'm actually very afraid to walk off Center Street to Locust to cross the street. They come whipping around Center Street to go back roads to Central Avenue to get to the Parkway. And something has to happen. It's really horrible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Friday nights.
The worst, the worst.
What's the bowl of cherry? I don't want to spike my name. What's that bowl of cherry?
Those are, if anyone's interested, we have cherry bombs. We had so many cherry tomatoes this year in the garden. I brought some cherry tomatoes in for anyone who wants them. I did have them to make sure they're not poisonous. I did eat them. Anybody wants any cherry tomatoes, they're all yours.
Organic cherry tomatoes?
Of course, you don't think I'm gonna have anything else.
And that being said, anything else, Mr. Patterson?
I guess the Burger King signs are by the county, right?
I'm not sure, who did we actually go with ordering the signs?
No,
It was-
Garden State. County's quote is higher.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Please step forward. Okay, we'll adjourn at this point, and we'll come back at 7:50.